So thank you, everyone, for being a part of this inspiring day filled with community, storytelling, Dare to Soar moments. To conclude our 2023 UCLA Alumni Conference, we would like to invite the Michael Price family UCLA women's basketball head coach, you have an alliteration here. Head coach Cori Close to the floor to share a few words. So welcome, Coach.
Hello, everybody. All right, I know I'm the end of the day, so you guys got it. This is what I do with our team in film. So you're going to have to, so there's a phrase that I was taught a while back. It's called sawubona. It means I see you in South African. And so what I need you to do is I need you to stand up and I need you to high five 3 people and say, sawubona, I see you. Hello there, sawubona. Sawubona. Sawubona, I see you. Sawubona. I see you, amazing alums. I love it, I love it. Okay, now I feel at home. I'm ready to go. Thanks for taking time. I'm walking over here thinking, man, this is a power group right here. And I just want to say, I see you, UCLA alum. I see you, I appreciate you. And honestly, I think about you all the time. We have 3 rules in our program, and one is respect and represent. Respect and represent that you honor yourself, the program, the university, and all of the alumni that paved the way for us to walk in the path that we get to do that. So thank you for being worthy of respect and represent, for setting the standard, for being trailblazers, for being people of integrity, of learning, of growth, and really being the North Star that our student athletes get to go, oh, that's what I can become. And so really thank you to you, and I really do see you and appreciate you. So today is Selection Sunday in the basketball world, right? So I think it's right now maybe that the men are finding out. At this moment is the men's a selection show, and at 5 o'clock is the women's selection show. We actually are hopeful, but we don't know. We could be playing at home here for the first 2 rounds, the women, and so please come and show up and support if we have the opportunity to do that. But you know what? It's so easy during this time of year to forget your why. I am about as competitive as you're going to find. I don't care if it's tiddlywinks or ping pong or the NCAA tournament. I want to win. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but it isn't my highest calling as your coach. And, you know, it's interesting, all the great commercials are coming out. And they're doing some amazing commercials, and some incredible businesses are getting behind women in sport. And I'm so grateful for that. It's an amazing thing, right? Back in the 90s, I'm showing my age, but there was this Nike commercial, and it said, if you let me play, I will be less likely to stay in a toxic relationship. If you let me play, I will be X percentage less likely to have cancers of many kind. If you let me play, I will have a much higher level of self-esteem. And the list went on and on. If you let me play. It's a very powerful thing when you really think about it. And I think about our players, and now we're in this situation that 57% of C-level positions held by women in corporate America played college sports. 77% played high school or college sports. And I say that to say it is not just about the dribble, pass, shoot, or whatever sport you play. It's about leadership and self-esteem and having a growth mindset and mental toughness and time management, and the list goes on. And those things never leave you. I actually was speaking at a Title IX event. This is the 50th anniversary of Title IX this year, which is really amazing and cool. And it was in September, and I was telling this story of the Nike commercial. And this guy was in the second row, and I'd never met him before, and he just got sort of teary-eyed. But I didn't really know, and I just kept going. I met people afterwards. And later on, his name is John, and later on, he contacted me, and he said, my late wife, I was her second marriage, but she was in this abusive, toxic, very difficult relationship. And I just think maybe if she was able to play sports, maybe she would have gotten out sooner. And he goes, I'm going to change my whole purpose. He came to his first practice last week and watched our team. And I went to lunch with him, and he goes, it has changed my whole way of how I want to pay it forward. Is I want to support women to be strong, powerful women that know their worth and know what they will and will not stand for. And how cool is that? You know, and again, don't get me wrong now. I want to be playing in Final Fours and raising banners around here. But I remember we have a director of mental training, and for the first several, and sort of performance mental training, and he walked our entire team out into the middle of Poly Pavilion, and he said, what are the 2 things that are going to stay with you for the rest of your life from these 4 years? And I remember Jordan Canada, who's in the WNBA now, she's, I want a banner, baby, raise that banner. And Joshua said, hey, I'm excited about that quest, and I hope our level of excellence leads us to that place, and I will be there to cheer you on. He said, but banners hang in gyms. Someone else said, man, that ring, I want that ring right here. And he said, just give me the championship ring. And he said, man, that's going to be a cool ceremony someday. He says, but you know what? Rings collect dust, and they're in trophy cases. He says the only 2 things that will stay with you for the rest of your life from these 4 years are who you become and who you impact. Who you become and who you impact. And that's for all of us, right? No matter what we do. I was, had the wonderful opportunity to be mentored by John Wooden for 15 years, and I'm just so humbled by that. But what an example he set. At the top of the pyramid is what? Competitive greatness. But it's the last one that they talk about because it's a byproduct of all of the character traits of who you become and who you impact along the way. And he used to tell me, he has, how the big blue eyes he had, he sort of had a sparkle about them sometimes. And he would say to me as I was thinking about becoming a head coach, and he said, remember, Cori, you're not coaching people's jump shots, you're coaching people's hearts. And then he says, but if you coach their hearts really well, usually their jump shots end up pretty good too. And he's right? But that's the bottom line is that when you, and I want you to feel this way as alums. I don't want you to think, oh, those are those student athletes over there, and boy, they get all that stuff. I want you to go, man, those are those people over there. They're coaching people's hearts so that they can raise and fulfill the standards in which you guys have blazed for us. And I want you to know that we don't see ourselves as a separate entity to the educational experience, but just a separate one in that it's in 3D. And it maybe takes some different forms. And this is an extension of our classroom work, not separate from it, but in addition to it. And I want you to know that when we represent you, we know that it is not just putting an orange ball through a hoop. It's about treasuring the total collegiate experience and realize that we need to take great pride in who we're becoming and who we're impacting along the way, because that is what lasts. And, I think as I go into, this is really, as I was thinking about speaking to you guys today, I was really like, man, this is what I need to hear more than him. I need to remind myself that more than anything else. But, the reality is that values are values. And I'm not driven by the outcomes, I'm driven by my values, and then I trust the outcomes will be what they need to be. And our values in our program, our mission statement is that we want to be an elite basketball program that teaches, mentors, and equips young women for life beyond UCLA. We want to create an uncommon, transformational experience for every young woman we get a chance to invest in, and thankful for that. And we want to be people of gratitude. We want to have a growth mindset. And we want to be lifestyle givers. People ask me all the time, and what's the most meaningful part of my day? And I steal Coach Wooden's quote again, the only way to have a perfect day is to give something to somebody else without any expectation of anything in return. That's how you create a whole bunch of perfect days. But everything is about response, right? We could say E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. So much of the time, if you have a fixed mindset instead of a growth mindset, when that outcome comes that you don't like, you tend to blame the event. And really, if you want to change your O, your outcome, really the only thing you have the power to do is to change your R. And so response is everything. I do think Villanova men's basketball, they played here last year. Bruins won for men's basketball. But Jay Wright was their coach, and he's one of the best coaches in the country, and he retired this year. But our whole team noticed something, which was really interesting. And they've won several national championships, but our whole team noticed that whenever maybe a bad call was made or they missed a shot, everybody on their team started just clapping, smiling, and saying, attitude, attitude, attitude. And what that means is respond. Control your response, choose a good attitude, and it didn't matter. And everybody, they changed their body language and their face. They said it with each other, and they made eye contact with their eyes. Every time. And basketball is a game of failure. You are going to fail more than you succeed. And so there they were every single time focused on, in essence, their response. And I just think about us as a group. And I'm a UCLA alum in Graduate School of Education, 1995. And so proud of that. But I really do feel like we represent you. But you guys are soaring. You are setting the tone. And when we're talking about that, man, I want our players, it's about lifestyle choices, about them taking things with them for life beyond UCLA. I got a call just last week or last couple of weeks of two of our players that are playing professionally overseas, one in Germany and one in Poland. And they said, Coach, it's so fun watching the team. We're behind you. Let's go. And they're really excited. They said, but the work we did from the inside out are the things that are helping us now, both as professional athletes, but also as women. And I just think about what can we do to serve this university and to serve all of you. And that is to help create a structure in which our players feel so proud of who they've become and who they've impacted. That is what will last. So I leave you with this, and I'm happy to take any questions. I'm probably over my time. Coaches always do that. And I've told this before, but it's just really the formidable story that made me realize how we needed to run our program here. This is my 12th season here at UCLA, and I'm so grateful for my journey here and to represent a place and to be a part of something bigger than myself. But my fourth day on the job here, number one, I had no staff except for the amazing Pam Walker, who's been here forever and has been so loyal and truly makes our program grow. And it was just her and I, and I was overwhelmed, and she goes, you got to talk to this guy, John Valley. He's coming in. I said, well, who's John Valley? And remember, I'd been mentored by Coach Wooden for 15 years, and I'd met a lot of his alums. I had no idea who he was. She goes, he's the Dribble for the Cure guy. He's involved in a community service thing that we're a part of. I said, okay, fine. Okay, bring him in. And he comes down, he just sits like right across from me right here, and he doesn't even barely introduce himself. He says, I've been married 38 years because of what Coach Wooden taught me. I've started 3 successful businesses because of what Coach Wooden taught me. I've conquered cancer 3 times because of the strength Coach Wooden gave me. And then he really got me. He said, I survived the death of my 12-year-old daughter, Erin, because of the way Coach Wooden loved me. And then he said, see you later. Welcome back to the family. I'll see you Dribble for the Cure. And I'm literally going, what just happened? And I run over to the computer and I look this guy up and I look him up and it's like starting guard of 2 of Coach Wooden's national championship teams in 7 years in the NBA. And he didn't even mention it because it paled in comparison to the man he became. And I'm like, that is our mission. How many John Valley stories can we tell? Can we form? Can we invest in? Can we serve? And that is really what I think in all areas of our lives, whether we're in family or business or whatever we've chosen to do, if we can create those John Valley stories that, yes, you may be a successful business person. Yes, you may be so proud of your kids. Yes, whatever else, fill in the blanks. But may it always pale in comparison to who you've become and how you treat people. And, that's truly the desire of our hearts. And so I want you to know we are so proud to walk in your steps. And we are so thankful for creating this amazing university at the level that you have. And I'm obviously biased towards people like Lindsay because I know her story. She's incredible. But we just take that really, really seriously. And so thank you for setting that standard for us. And thank you for supporting all the right things and for allowing us to live in a mission that we feel passionate about and that we're proud of. We love you guys. And to end out, I got to have you raise your hands in the air here. Hands in the air. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA. Fight. All right. In all seriousness, if you have the chance, if we are lucky enough to host the first 2 rounds, I would be honored if you would attend. But cheer us on no matter what. We're thankful for you, and go Bruins.
Thank you. That energy. I was just saying that energy. I don't know how she does it. She just came from basketball practice, actually. The team just wrapped up. So we're so grateful Coach could be here with us today. So this is the conclusion of our programming. Thank you again for being a part of the 2023 UCLA Alumni Conference. We hope you enjoyed today, that you feel inspired, you feel uplifted, motivated, made a connection. I do want to give a special thanks to our care team. So we have students here today on their Sunday that have really helped set up this facility. So a round of applause for our care team. On your way out, our entrepreneur market, some vendor spaces are still open. Yes?
Sorry, we also cannot leave without thanking Haley and Sandy. And also want to acknowledge Estella Lee because I love the work. She's the woman that developed all our marketing materials, and thank you for that.
A team effort for sure. So thank you so much. Again, Entrepreneur Marketplace, there's still some vendors there. So if you didn't have chance earlier, also your beautiful name tags. You can take the insert, but we would love the plastic with the metal backing back. There'll be a basket at the front, so you can drop that off on your way out. But don't feel rushed. Continue to form a community, meet someone new. Just thank you and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.